It's called Sound the Alarm, Save a Life. Every day, 7 people die in home fires, and tragically, most of the deaths are due to smoke alarms that are not working.
We've got Fargo Fire Chief and Red Cross board member Steve Dirksen with us today. Talk about the importance, obviously, of making sure you got those fire alarms ready to go. Great to see you, Chief. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us here. Fire alarms, those are one of the simple and probably the most inexpensive things somebody can put in their house that will alert them of a problem and allow you to get out before you can't get out. One of the things that we know with fires is that they're burning faster and hotter than they have 50 years ago. Rooms are fully engulfed in flames. Some recent UL studies have shown within about 4 minutes. So from the time the fire starts to where the smoke starts to bank down and the heat starts to go, you've got about 4 minutes at best to get out of your house. So we need that early detection of a smoke detector.
So is it true that a lot of times in the bad fires or the fires that have a poor outcome that there's maybe not a smoke alarm or the batteries were dead? Yeah,
too often than not, we find out that there was not a working smoke alarm in a house when there's been a fatality. Either there were none or it wasn't operating properly. So we encourage people to put them in outside of every sleeping area on every level of the home, and making sure that you check those things every 6 months. Change the batteries. That's a relatively inexpensive thing. There's also the lithium-ion batteries that are out there today that will last for 10 years. But smoke detectors are made to be replaced. Putting them in once isn't enough. You should put a date on your smoke detector every time you put it in, when it was put in, and know that 10 years later you need to put a different one in.
I mean, it wasn't a house fire, but I know, Chris, you were talking to the chief leading into this. We had a business fire today that we know now that the building's a total loss in Castleton. So It just goes to show things can go fast.
Early detection is always the best thing, and with the Red Cross, we've for the last number of years, we've been having around the country is a program called Sound the Alarm. And we've hosted it here in Fargo in the past. This last weekend, we were out as far as the Red Cross goes, we were out in Bismarck, Mandan. They were down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Hartford, South Dakota, going around putting smoke alarms around for anybody that needed them. They'd canvass areas within these towns and said, hey, where are some areas that we need to have smoke detectors and homes that would benefit from this? So we've been out doing that. To date, if I remember this right, and this is a couple weeks ago, so the data might be a little changed, but I think it was 562 or so people have been saved because of the Sound the Alarm program that we've been able to track through the Red Cross. So that's 562 lives that are here today because of a smoke detector that the Red Cross put in. They often partner with the local fire departments and go out and do this. Sometimes there's businesses. I know in Fargo here, we've had a couple businesses that wanted to get their employees engaged. So they contacted the Red Cross and they went out and canvassed neighborhoods as well. And that's happening all across the country. I think it was last year, the millionth smoke detector was placed because of the Sound Alarm program across the country.
That's awesome.
We were hoping it was going to be here in the Fargo area when it happened.
Yeah.
We missed it because we had weather issues, but we were kind of banking it, and we thought we were going to be online for it. So
if people have questions, or they know areas, or their home specifically doesn't have updated smoke alarms or working smoke alarms, should they contact you?
Absolutely. You can either contact the Fargo Fire Department or the Red Cross. You can go to getanalarm.com, and that'll go to the Red Cross, and they will we'll put you in contact with somebody, and we'll get out and get it put in. Make sure it's in the appropriate places in your homes.
Great program. Thank you, Chief.
You bet. Thanks.
Coming up on North Dakota Today, a couple of real-life superheroes are in the studio.